hello. My name is Mara, and welcome to Books Like Whoa. So, the time has come for my What Am I Reading Right Now video for the month of June 2018. I love making these videos. I think you guys enjoy watching them, so wins all around. It's been a less prolific month for me so far, for sure. Last month got a little crazy in terms of volume. This month I'm not reading as much, but I'm still really enjoying what I'm reading. I've had some definite I've had books that I've had strong responses to, which I always find exciting. So let me get into a couple of things I've been reading, and then we will get into what I might read next, what I'm reading right now, all that good stuff. I should say I've started doing an Instagram story every day around 1 or 2 Central Time-ish. I mean, maybe not every day, but most days. And yeah, I'm basically sort of just vlogging what I'm doing bookish-wise that day. So if you're interested in finding out what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis in terms of reading, definitely follow me on Instagram. I am at Books Like Whoa. I'm at Books Like Whoa on all social media stuff that I have. So yeah, definitely follow me if you want to find out day-to-day what I'm reading. But for now, let's just get into a little summarizing. So in terms of notable things that I've read recently, the first I wanted to point out was Shelter in Place by Nora Roberts. Now, Nora Roberts every year has a standalone suspense type book, and this year it is Shelter in Place. Now, Shelter in Place was a really, I definitely really enjoyed it, and I think I'll talk about this maybe more in my wrap up because it was very surprising to me in a lot of ways. I'll say this, it's about a mass shooting in a mall. I actually have several books on my TBR / things I've read so far this year that are about mass shootings. What a sad commentary on the state of American life when that becomes a common and plausible premise. But anyway, it's a mass shooting at a mall. It's I think meant to be the largest mass shooting in US history. And essentially you are following 2 characters who were there that day and kind of how that shapes their life. And it is ultimately a romance, so they eventually get together, but I think in the last couple of these suspense books, it's clear she is less and less interested in that piece of her plotting, and I almost wish she would just start leaving that out of her suspense books because it's so clear that she's just sort of tacking it on. As sort of just a suspense book, this is a really interesting book, and it's well done, and it's a very nice piece of commercial fiction that I enjoyed. But I'll get more into that probably at the end of the month, but it was surprising to me because from this book and last year's, the romance was the least successful part, and I almost wish she would just stop putting that in there. But yeah, it was still a very nice piece of commercial fiction, very enjoyable, something I would recommend, and I appreciate that she is like a clock and gives us one of these every year. Okay, and then I read 2 books about nutrition, both of which I enjoyed, one of which I really enjoyed. So the one that I was more just this is okay, was The Calorie Myth by Jonathan Bailor. I would recommend, what I think both of these books I'm going to talk about do is they talk about challenges to the calories in, calories out understanding of how weight gain and loss work without getting overly into specific diet recommendations. Now this book, I think it spends half of its book promoting its version of this should be your diet. So I guess I should amend that and say that this does have that. But I do think that this has a really nice kind of explanation specifically of the idea of set point weight, and I think that that's a really helpful concept for people to understand. And I think if you have a long-term dieting history of ups and downs, it will be very revelatory for you to investigate the whole concept of set point weight. So this was, I would say a solid 3 stars, it was fine. The one that I really enjoyed and gave a 4.5 star to was The Obesity Code by Dr. Jason Fung. I think it is now where I would recommend somebody start if they are interested in making long-term sustainable changes to their way of eating, specifically around reducing sugar and cutting out processed foods, because I think he just really gets into the biochemistry of how weight gain and weight loss work. It's called The Obesity Code, and basically, so he's a nephrologist, which is a kidney doctor, and if you don't know, kidney disease and type 2 diabetes really go hand in hand, and I think he kind of started exploring why that is, and kind of how we got to be in the situation we're in. And I think he does a really nice job of kind of describing the various chemicals and hormones that affect weight gain and weight loss and affect type 2 diabetes and a number of other diseases in a way that's very approachable. Like, I think that this is something, as long as you have some level of patience for talking about science, this book will be helpful. And I just really believe that long-term, I really, really do think that long-term changes in terms of like nutrition have to be based in some part in you understanding how your body works. I think there's a reason why just because we have Weight Watchers, the entire country is not, or like the entire world is not thin. There's a reason why things like Jenny Craig, and if that works for you, I'm not trying to make you, I'm not trying to yuck your yum. I'm just saying that I think the whole idea of like, you don't need to understand the nutrition, just follow points. I think we've kind of seen that that doesn't work very well. So I think understanding the underlying science is really, really helpful and helps you not just make, oh, this is the right decision. It helps you understand why you're eating what you're eating and make informed decisions, if that makes sense. So anyway, I really recommend that book. I very much enjoyed it. And that was The Obesity Code by Dr. Jason Fung. Okay, and then two notable YA fantasy type things. The first I'll say is Windwitch. Now, I really did enjoy Truthwitch. I think I gave that a 4 out of 5 stars. I ended up giving this a 3 out of 5 stars. I think it's somewhat of a disappointing follow-up just in terms of I think some of the things I really loved about Truthwitch just aren't in this book. And I think that I'm not sure if it's the writing or just the way the plot is working in this doesn't fully connect with me. That being said, I really, really enjoy the characters in this book, and I will absolutely keep reading this series because I'm very invested in the characters. But I think that this book just didn't have exactly what I was looking for. And specifically, a huge piece of what I enjoyed in the first book was the relationship between Isolde and Safi. Like, I just loved that. And so I was disappointed. And I understand from a plot perspective sort of why that was happening. But there was a contrivance towards the end that made them able to be together. And I wish that contrivance had come in earlier in the plot, because I bet I would have enjoyed this more if there had been a little more of that spice thrown in the mix. All that being said, I still did enjoy this. I just didn't enjoy it as much as I had hoped I would. And then, Dread Nation. I absolutely love this. If you watch me, if you follow my Instagram stories, you got to see me reacting to this in real time. Absolutely love this. I know that there are some mixed opinions about it, which I mostly don't agree with, but I see where some people are coming from on a couple of things they've said. I have a yay or nay review that I just filmed, and that will go up, I think, next week, so I'll get into my full thoughts in that. But all that to say, this is one of my favorite things I've read so far this year. Really, really enjoyed it. Okay, so in terms of things that I'm reading right now or like am about to start, I'm reading Killers of the Flower Moon. I don't remember who the author is on that. I'm listening to that on audio because I have a book club coming up for that. I have a book club that actually by the time you're seeing this will be tonight. So I've been listening to that on audio. It's really, really good. It's nonfiction, true crime nonfiction that like gets real. It's basically about a serial killer of a very prosperous native tribe in, I believe, Oklahoma. And oh man, it is dark and good and really well done. So reading that and enjoying it. I'm reading The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. Also really enjoying that. It is, that author, she previously wrote Final Girls, which I tried to get into and couldn't quite, but this one I'm having more success with, and I think I'll end up going back and reading Final Girls. But this one is about lies and murder and sleepaway camp. So I will hopefully finish that up maybe today, actually. And then the other thing that I'm about to start is The Lies of Lamora by Scott Lynch. I am doing a buddy reads of this with Beautifully Bookish Bethany and Leanna from Leanna's Library. Yeah, I am expecting that I'm gonna fucking love this. So I'm planning on starting this tomorrow, and it's a meaty book, but it's not, I mean, it's not too crazy. It's like 600 pages, and I'm really excited to get into this. It has a heist involved, and I think lady pirates, so like, sold. I think I will enjoy this. And then beyond that, I'm not totally sure what I'm gonna read. I do have Lovehacked by Penny Reid out from the library right now, so probably will read that. It's contemporary romance. I would like to read something nonfiction, like essay-ish. I'm not totally sure what that might be. I have a number of different things I could read. Maybe I'll read Not That Bad by Roxane Gay. She edited that collection, and it's essentially about rape culture, so that might be something I get to. I've got We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I got that from Book Outlet, and I also have One of Us is Lying out from the library right now. So those are both YA mysteries, and that sounds kind of good to me. Yeah, I don't really, it's unusual, but I don't have a ton of direction of where I'm gonna go after I get through the books that are kind of on my immediate TBR. So we'll just kind of see where my mood takes me, which is great. I'm a mood reader, and so I think a lot of times I'm having the most fun reading when I'm really just letting myself kind of go where my whimsy takes me. But yeah, I think that covers pretty well what I'm reading right now, what I've read, what I'm about to read, all that good stuff. Like I said, if you want to kind of follow along day to day, feel free to follow me on Instagram at BooksLikeWhoa. And yeah, I get into the Instagram stories. I'm still like learning. I've never been a Snapchat person, so like I'm still kind of learning how to use stories and like how to get the most out of it, but I'm enjoying that, exploring it, and I like watching other people's, so I'm trying to learn from them and explore what it looks like for me, for myself. So anyway, feel free to follow me there. But yeah, I think that will do it. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, follow me on the social medias if you're so inclined. I have all that information listed in the description box below. And I think that will do it for me for today. Yeah, I hope you guys are having a really good one, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.